Hi, today I would like to introduce to you the swine flu. Swine flu is a type of influenza, an infection caused by any of several types of swine influenza virus. What we usually refer to when we say swine flu is the pandemic H1N1/09 virus. Now, there are different kinds of influenzas. There are bird influenzas, pig influenzas, human influenzas, and other strains for many different animals. Each strain of influenzas can only transmit between same species. For example, swine flu, the parasites in pig will only transmit from pig to pig. The swine flu that is responsible for the 2009 flu pandemic is the influenza type A virus subtype H1N1, often called as the H1N1 virus. We call it the swine flu because the H1N1 virus is a novel strain of influenza originated from pig that mutated to parasite on humans. Another famous influenza that you might as well know is the avian flu. Similar to swine flu, the avian flu is a strain of influenza virus that originated from birds and adapted to a specific host such as human. Studies have shown that H1N1 virus began circulating in pigs in 1918. At the same time in 1918, the virus was current in humans, but because these two viruses were in different hosts, they evolved differently. Although they have a common ancestor going back to 1918, the swine H1N1 developed differently from the human H1N1, and in 2009, the swine H1N1 was a new virus to humans for which existing vaccines against seasonal flu provided no protection. The virus particle is roughly rounded shape. It has two different protrusions sticking out of it. One is like a spike called H-spike, used to enter a cell. Another is more of a propeller called N-spike, which is responsible of getting away from the cell. In less than 10 hours, the affected cell will start forming new viruses for about 3 to 4 hours, and it will create up to 1 million new copies of viruses. The outbreak of this H1N1 virus dated around mid-April of 2009 in Mexico. Though many people believe that the virus developed from factory farms in Mexico, researchers have hypothesized that it actually came from Chinese pigs through humans. From Mexico, it spread to the United States, and from the United States, it spread to the rest of the world. Despite informally being called as swine flu, the H1N1 virus cannot be spread by eating pork or any pork products. Similar to other influenza viruses, it is typically transmitted by person to person through respiratory droplets. Since this new virus was resistant to seasonal flu vaccine, it infected at least 1 in 5 people in a single year. Though the death rate was relatively low, young children were vulnerable to severe risks. However, older adults over 60 years old showed high percentage of immunity to this virus, unlike most strains of influenza. The World Health Organization, or WHO, announced that the virus has killed more than 18,000 people, yet many experts have estimated up to 500,000 deaths. Symptoms of the H1N1 flu are similar to those of other influenzas, involving fever, cough, headache, muscle joint, sore throat, chills, fatigue, and runny nose. In severe cases, the flu might cause difficulty in breathing, pressure in chest or abdomen, sudden dizziness, confusion, severe vomiting, or low temperature. The preventions of H1N1 include vaccines that were invented in November 2009, which elevate the effectiveness of the immune system to combat against H1N1 virus, and infection controls, such as travel precautions, school and workplace closure, and other sanitary items such as facial masks. As the vaccination was developed, the pandemic began to taper off in November 2009, and by May 2010, the number of cases was in steep decline. On August 10th of 2010, WHO announced the end of the pandemic and that the H1N1 influenza has moved into the post-pandemic. Annual influenza epidemics are estimated to affect 5 to 15% of the global population. Although most cases are mild, these epidemics still cause severe illness in 3 to 5 million people and about 250,000 to 500,000 deaths worldwide. Influenza A virus strains caused 3 global pandemics during the 20th century: the Spanish flu in 1918, Asian flu in 1957, and Hong Kong flu in 1968. These virus strains had undergone major genetic changes for which the population did not possess significant immunity. Thank you.